FiFine sent me their K8 microphone for review. It's a handheld dynamic microphone with a cardioid pickup pattern. This mic can be had for $30 at the time of recording, which places it in the budget category right next to my personal favorite budget mic, the Digital Reference VX1. So this video will decide whether the K8 takes the crown of best budget mic.
Through the mixer's preamps. Hey, I'm Will, the homeschool DJ. Assuming you can find the VX1 for $15 around Black Friday, the price of the FiFine K8 lands it in between the classic Shure SM58 and the budget rival, the VX1. And $29.99 makes perfect sense when reading the specs of the K8. Its frequency response is between 50 Hz and 14 kHz with a negative 52 decibel sensitivity. There's approximately a 10 decibel boost between 3 kHz and 8 kHz, a soft roll-off starting at 70 Hz and a sharp roll-off starting at 14 kHz, which is all pretty normal. The Shure SM58 or Sennheiser e835 have more frequency response and better dynamic range, but they are also 3 times the cost. While my personal favorite budget mic, the VX1, has a frequency response between 60 Hz and 12 kHz. The specs of the K8 also land right in the middle between your $100 mics and your $15 mics. The specs are closer to the SM58 than the Digital Reference, while the price is closer to the Digital Reference. All that being said, specs aren't the only deciding factor. The specs can look great, but the mic could sound terrible or fall apart in your hand. So let's look at what you get in the box. Papers, a pop filter, that's nice. A velvet carrying bag, ooh, soft. A 19-foot XLR to quarter-inch TS jack. The ends are not Neutrik, so don't use this cable. It could get stuck in your equipment. And, of course, the K8 mic. The mic feels heavy and sturdy, like it's made of metal. It feels like aluminum. At first glance, it looks normal until you compare it to the SM58. That's a thick-ass boy! Now, I have long fingers, so this mic may not look big in my hands, but it's nearly as big as a wireless mic. And no, it isn't wireless. So why the heck is it so big? It feels like you could run this thing over with a car and nothing would happen to it. Of course, I've done that with an SM58, and it works fine. So I don't see the need to make this mic so big. But if you have large hands and you don't want to look like DJ Diesel with a tiny toy mic, this might be a good option for you without paying hundreds for a wireless set. But if you have small hands, it's probably going to look huge. But hey, it's a great looking mic. Good style, lean more towards the Sennheiser look rather than the Shure snow cone scoop. It's got this rubber ring around the grill that is flattened, so when you set the mic on the table, it doesn't slip, roll, or pop super loud. That's a nice touch. There is a thick foam pop filter inside the grill. It's the little things that set it apart. Oh geez, look how large this diaphragm is. Wow. Okay, let's listen to how this mic sounds next to some of its competitors.
The mute switch pops slightly.
The handling noise is okay. Not the best, but acceptable. The plosives are pretty bad. Sally bakes pepperoni banana bread on the beach in a seashell pot by the seashore. We're going to take a trip around the microphone to hear the off-axis rejection and tonal coloration, just like Podcastage does. If you've never watched Podcastage and you like audio equipment, you should go subscribe to his channel. How does this mic handle feedback?
This is a test of the FiFine K8 microphone. Feedback test 1, 2. Ow.
Yes, it feeds back terribly and at a much lower threshold than all the other mics in this test. And I feel like I need to EQ out some low end and bring some high frequencies up to make this mic sound okay. But most mics need that type of EQing anyway.
Which brings us to the VX1.
No mute switch, handling noise is just atrocious. Plosives are better than the K8, but not good. Samantha is pregnant with 2 twin baby boys.
Oh my.
She looks like she will barely make it. Let's listen to the off-axis rejection and tonal coloration as we make our way around the microphone. And as I make my way around the front, I feel like I would need to do similar EQing to make the VX1 sound usable. Feedback?
This is a test of the digital reference VX1 microphone. This is a feedback test. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2.
Yes, this mic did feedback, but at half the distance from the speaker as the K8. Let's listen to the PG58. It's a budget version of the classic SM58 with a switch. The switch hardly pops at all. Handling noise is better than the VX1. Plosives are okay. I bought a bag of sacks at the farmer's market for bagging the burning barrel of bananas. Listening to the off-axis rejection and tonal coloration as we make our way around the back of the microphone. The reason I don't recommend this microphone is because it's significantly more expensive than the VX1 with only slightly better performance. How does this mic handle feedback?
This is a test of the Shure PGA58 microphone. This is a feedback test. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's pretty good. And that is another reason why I don't recommend this microphone. I need to fix that, apparently. That shouldn't happen. The SM58 is just so much better than this.
Let's listen to the SM58 as a reference because everyone knows what an SM58 sounds like. It's a classic, strong mic. You can tell that this mic had a lot of R&D budget to refine its performance. Handling noise is excellent. Plosives are excellent. De-esser is applied in the tuning of the mic. Sacks of sage were bought at the bakery for the barbershop to burn. Listening to the off-axis rejection and tonal coloration, you realize that there are several reasons that you pay $110 for this mic. It's excellent. You get what you pay for. Feedback?
This is a test of the Shure SM58 microphone. This is a feedback test. 1, 2. 1, 2. Check 1, 2. That's really good.
This mic hardly fed back until I was right up on the speaker. I'd like to include another $100 microphone, the Sennheiser e835. The handling noise is okay. A bit better than the K8, a bit worse than the SM58. The plosives perform in between the K8 and the SM58 as well. I bet we could go to the beach today if you want to go swimming, but you have to bring your own bathing suit. The off-axis rejection and tonal coloration is excellent. You probably can't even hear me as I make my way around the microphone. Feedback?
This is a test of the Sennheiser e835 microphone. This is a feedback test. 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2.
Yes, this mic fed back at about the same distance as the VX1, about 1 or 2 inches closer to the speaker, which is pretty good.
After listening back to the audio samples, obviously the SM58 sounded the most ready out of the box before EQ or compression, but the K8 is a decent sound for $30. I have one concern about this mic that I noticed during testing. I didn't realize that the phantom power was on when I plugged this mic in, and the diaphragm of the mic popped. I don't remember ever experiencing that with any other mic. It doesn't pop when the switch is off, nor does it pop when the phantom power is off. The mic sounds thin, like I'm talking to you over the phone. That's unusual. Dynamic mics shouldn't be affected by phantom power at all. I thought I'd mention it to you because I don't want your mic to get damaged. The feedback, phantom power, handling noise, and plosives are huge concerns for me. I mean, you get what you pay for. Does it take the crown as best budget mic? Considering the VX1 is $50 during most of the year except for Black Friday, and even on Black Friday you have to pay $45 for a set of 3 mics. So unless you've got a couple friends that want to split the cost with you, or you have a use for 3 mics, the K8 is $30 year-round, therefore it wins on price. The K8 performed worse in feedback and plosives, 2 areas that make you look very unprofessional as a DJ. You could fix the plosives with the included pop filter, that is, dare I say, not very stylish. Plosives from Sally baking her banana bread on the beach, but it just looks so tacky and ugly. The K8 did perform better on handling noise by a small margin, which is convenient when guests are doing toasts. It's nice that the K8 has a mute switch, however, because of the popping noise that it emits, it makes the switch useless. When it comes down to the wire, I couldn't use this mic at a live event because of the feedback. I use the VX1 at live events every weekend, therefore I can't recommend anyone buy the K8 for live events over loud speakers. The VX1 maintains the best budget microphone crown at $15. I wouldn't pay $50 for the VX1. I don't feel like you should spend $50 on a PG58, PG48, or a VX1 when you could get much better performance at $100 or just buy a better mic on the secondhand market. When FiFine sent this mic to me, they asked me to give it away, so leave a comment if you want me to do any more testing to this mic before I give it away. Tell me the specific situation and test you want me to try. I had a lot of fun making this review, and I appreciate FiFine for sending this mic to me. If I missed something, tell me so I can learn and get better at reviewing products. Well, that's all I got for you. Let me know what you want me to review next. I could grab a mic from work and review it. See you next time. This is how it sounds through the mixer's preamps, the Pioneer DDJ-SX. This is a pretty common mixer I think a lot of you use. This is what it sounds like from the side and from the other side and from around the back. And here's your handling noise.